Hi, I'm Ayesha Selden. This is Nip Hustle. I'm an art collector. Welcome to our home. I want my house to tell the story of Black people predominantly here in America. I've got art from artists of the African diaspora, and I want my house to reflect those stories, and I think that it does. Initially, I thought when I was building the house, I wanted plenty of natural light and windows. I started collecting art shortly after I bought the house, and what I now know is I want less light and less windows and more walls for art. I started collecting in February of 2021. It's actually, I guess, right before I moved into the property, right as it was completely being built, and have accumulated in 2 years almost 100 pieces of art, and I'm not gonna stop now. So I need more walls, and that's something that I think about quite a bit. So when you enter my home, I wanted it to feel very open, inviting, and welcoming. So in here you'll find what I just consider a bit of a lounge, which is outside of my primary office. You've got what I consider a traditional term, powder room, which is right at the entry. Originally, I built this space to be a wine closet, but since I have a temperature-controlled wine closet, I've essentially installed art here. This is kind of my work in progress. I'm gonna make it a little bit more of a space where I keep sort of like retro items, maybe some old albums that I have. So this is something that I'm continuing to work on. This piece that you have here, this is a tapestry work that I purchased at Art Basel in 2021. It's a pretty significant piece for me as it's done on a traditional rug, which I wanted folks to see as soon as they came into the home. I think it's quite welcoming, inviting, and I think it's super special. So come on with me to my guest bedroom. So welcome to one of my guest bedrooms where I've just incorporated a lot of textures and, more importantly, a lot of art. Here you'll see one of my favorite pieces, Heat Wave. This is a Brandon Diener, who's an LA-based artist. I try to make sure that I'm supporting our local artists. You've got Lauren Pierce work here. You've got Shannon Lewis work here. You've got Nelson McCummel work here. You've got Cynthia Malenga, who is a South African artist. So here I've really just tried to tie in a lot of art, a lot of texture. I've got these acrylic boxes which have some of my favorite writers, some of my favorite musicians, a quilt, a blanket that one of my clients made for me. So I've got leathers on the bed. I really just wanted to make sure that I incorporated a lot of color, a lot of texture, a lot of art, and a lot of feel and a lot of light, which you'll find in this bedroom. So welcome to my kitchen. So in here, this is where I spend most of my time. I have a pretty big, I think it's probably like 7 feet by 6 foot island here, because this is where I spend most of my time congregating. So it was important in the design of my kitchen. Myself and my designer, we worked pretty tirelessly to make sure that everything was relatively hidden. So you'll see, like, you know, in some kitchens where they have the microwave maybe above the range, we have ours hidden beneath the island. We have most of my appliances were also hidden as well. So you've got my freezer here, my wine fridge, which was the only thing I wanted open. I've got my fridge here. I've got my stove here, which obviously was pretty difficult and challenging to get during the pandemic, as it was a special order stove. So there was a bunch of little interesting things that we did here. One of the things was I changed the direction of my flooring. So my herringbone flooring, which runs pretty much this way throughout the house, I changed it here to break up my kitchen and also as it blends into what I consider my family room. So as we come around here, I've got my seating, because of course people are generally in the kitchen as we're talking, as we're congregating. One of the things that you'll notice right under here, because Nip is a part of the family, I've put his bowls right here. I had it outfitted specifically for him, so I've got his own water filler right here underneath the kitchen counters. So I did open counters for all of my glassware. This is the stuff that I use more often than not. I've got my Khalees book. Khalees has actually been here at my island, which is super cool. So yeah, that's my kitchen. We're in my sanctuary. This is outside of my kitchen where I spend most of my time. When I'm tired, when I want to read, when I want to just spend time with Nip, when I want to meditate, this is where I spend time. You know, you'll see this big, enormous velvet headboard that's green. That is my birthstone. That signifies energy and life and faith. You'll see all of those things. You'll see paintings in here that reflect intimacy, which I feel I should have in my sanctuary. There's a deck off of this room that I can go and I can see the sun setting, which is absolutely amazing. So outside of my kitchen, this is where I spend most of my time when I want to be alone, when I want to read. And everyone I think should have that.
Do you have any DIYs in your home? And if so, what was your proudest DIY that you've done here in this home?
I don't do a damn thing myself. I'm not doing it, you know. Like hanging a small 16-inch by 20-inch, I can't do it. I did the work when I built the thing. After that, I'm so sorry, I don't have it. I don't have I actually do have a toolbox. It doesn't come out. I don't know what people be doing in their homes. I watch on Instagram, like people be in there getting to it, like elbow grease. I don't have that. I don't have it. I don't want it. And that's okay too. I'm completely willing to pay professionals. So no, this is not a DIY home. You won't find nothing in here I've done myself. I've not hung a thing. I've not participated in anything other than paying for it. So this is the space right outside of my bedroom. And as I enter my bedroom, I wanted it to feel very special. So I have a commissioned piece that was done, again, by one of my favorite artists. This is actually a piece done of me when I was a kid. So I thought that was super special. This piece also here, a piece by Frank Morrison, just reminded me of my childhood growing up in row homes in Philly. This corner here, I've got just a lot of portraiture of Black children, which for me signifies my childhood and our innocence. And I want to be reminded of that when I go into my own personal space or sanctuary. This space is super special to me and a great way to enter my sanctuary. I grew up in the Black church, so there are pieces in here. One of the most recent pieces that I purchased is tells the story of, it's called I'll Fly Away. And there are these missing characters that are in the piece that you can see through either just church hats or like a figure of them that reminds me of the church mothers I grew up with, my own grandmother who was a church mother. All of these stories in here, they reflect a piece of me, a part of my childhood, a part of my adulthood, and I'm happy to be a custodian of these stories. I am Ayesha Selden. This is Nip Hustle, and you're watching Home and Texture House Tours.